the position is unpleasant. Then suddenly you're dead lost, and you didn't even make a perceptible mistake. How does he do this?
How does this happen? I know that Magnus measurement tool stick doesn't roll off the tongue like the Ammonometer does, which was the nickname I gave it today. But that game mark is something we're going to see. The Magnus measurement, where he takes you into the woods, to use the Tao quote, right? The deep, dark woods, and he just gets you lost in there. Are you pouring yourself coffee?
I have two beverages, actually. One is coffee, and one is a green beverage, but I will maintain the suspense by not revealing what it is.
I hope it's not absinthe. I'm just going to say that.
No. Worry not, Danny. I take my commentating duties seriously. The absinthe is for after the commentary.
Okay. All right. Well, there aren't many green drinks that you have. Besides AG1, which is a fantastic daily drink to help boost your overall health and wellness. AG1, one of the official whatever sponsors of, hey, I just rolled off the tongue.
Danny,
here we are, game
beautiful. 2. That transition was amazing.
Wesley So gets a knight on e5 in his b3 systems. You said, is this what you thought Wesley would do in the first stage, or is this a result of losing the first game? Or you think he'll poke and prod a little bit?
He will probably poke and prod a little bit, but I'm not a big fan of this opening setup. I think this is right up Magnus's alley. He's super solid here as he trades off the dark squared bishops, and it's just completely equal position. I would even maybe prefer black, because the knight on d2 has a hard time finding a good home, Danny, because look at that pawn on d5. As one Robert Hess would point out, it restricts the knight, prevents it from going to c4 from e4. So we're going to get a long kind of positional, cagey maneuvering battle in this game.
Robert loves highlighting that a pawn dominates a knight 3 squares away. How many times does he mention it per commentary match?
A lot. Well, I think I mention it more often than he does now, because I'm always like, Robert Hess would point out that the pawn restricts the knight.
Robert Hess coined, hey, let's point out the bishop is the wrong color square of the corner, right? There you go. I guess we can't spell chess without Hess, and we talk about
That's why Wesley got his rook off of the c-file. Still some chances for white. Magnus has to find the time to bring his king up to g6, but now that's hard to achieve.
I was going to say, but the problem is that rook f2 comes and Magnus found it. Okay,
Now
Wesley
it's time.
holding on, but the mating net now starts to feel very real the moment this rook flips around. Okay.
There it comes.
No, pawns are
he's
just
going to win
falling.
the e5 pawn, yeah. Yeah, I don't think he's got chances
Wesley
here.
is living on the increment here, which is never a place you want to be against anyone, and certainly not the highest rated player of all time in Magnus Carlsen.
Good try by Wesley, though, targeting the f7 pawn. Magnus down to 1 second. He's got to keep an eye on his clock.
Whoa.
That was a
Whoa.
panicky move. He got back
was
with his king.
He goes back to d8 now to kick the bishop out. He's going to offer the trade. Okay, the rook ending, I guess, also would have been losing.
God, Wesley holding on. Bishop e8, and he's going to make the draw. Bishop takes
Wow.
f7.
What a stellar defensive move there from Wesley to get that pawn. Okay, I don't know that the
it's
draw's
not
in
over.
hand just yet, but it
No,
should be
it's
a draw
not.
with best play.
Now, in a classical game, Danny, white would even contemplate taking on e6, but imagine defending
Right.
rook and bishop versus rook on the increment. Magnus is still trying to weave some sort of a mating net, but this is going to be exceedingly hard to achieve. Rook f4, I think, wins the pawn, and Wesley
Wow.
will save the game.
Wow. Huge boost of confidence for Wesley So there, even though that got away